Stop, drop, whatever you're doing. This is serious. This beautiful Earth. Yes, this Earth. We only have one Earth. For the last 50 to 100 years, us humans have been treating our Earth poorly, with carbon emissions from gas cars and transportation vehicles. This has, in turn, impacted the ecosystems and wildlife across our planet. There are things you can do to help, but first you need to know what climate change is, then how it impacts our ecosystems, and there are two carbon cycles. Long-term carbon cycle and the short-term carbon cycle. In the long-term carbon cycle, CO2 and water vapor combine, which makes carbonic acid. This carbonic acid turns into rainfall. The rainfall reacts with the minerals in the rock, and this acid in the rocks causes the rocks to break down and erode. Carbon is then released in the atmosphere in the hydrosphere. The oceans absorb carbon through rivers and streams, indirectly from the atmosphere. Sedimentary rocks form. Carbon is then removed from the atmosphere and stored in the rocks of the Earth's lithosphere. The short-term carbon cycle is when the sun gives off light to plants. Animals then eat the plants. Bacteria and fungi break down the dead plants and animals, which breaks down the carbohydrates, which then releases CO2 and methane in the atmosphere. Fossil fuels are non-renewable energy, like coal, oil, and natural gas, formed as a result of the long-term carbon cycle. Burning fossil fuels introduces more CO2 in the atmosphere. CO2 is released into the atmosphere and trapped, which then causes the temperature of the Earth to rise, impacting climate change. Climate change is a big threat to ecosystems. Average temperature in the United States has increased the last century more than 1 degree Fahrenheit. As a result, the Earth's atmosphere has warmed by 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit since 1900. The rise in temperature causes several things to happen. The first one is it can cause many creatures to go extinct. 70 types of frog has already gone extinct. Higher temperature can impact precipitation patterns. For example, the Southwest has begun to shift to a more arid climate, in which the Dust Bowl conditions have become the norm. Changes in precipitation patterns can also cause major disasters such as droughts, floods, fires, which can destroy animals' habitats. Storms and floods impact salmon as they can wash away their eggs and contaminate the water they are swimming in. American pikas are forced to retreat to the mountaintops due to changing temperatures. American pikas die when the temperature gets too high for them. Higher temperatures and changes in precipitation can enable some invasive species to move